Late Mrs. Felicia Amujuru Ogbodo Ezinne Ugodiya of Ikem was born to the family of Mr. Emoha and Mrs. Susan Eze of Ogbodo Aba in Udenu local government area of Enugu State in the year 1943. She was one of the 2 surviving children of her mother, and she had so many half-brothers and sisters, having come from a polygamous family.
I am by name Chief Honorable Joseph Ezinne, aka Duru. I'm known by Duru Weze in my town, Ogbodo. And I'm the only blood brother to the mother of this family. By name Felicia Amujuru Ogbodo Eze. She's only my blood sister I have on earth. And then my father had many wives, up to 4. But in my own nuclear family, we are only 2. The woman in question now, my senior sister and myself. So she's my only blood sister I have on earth. And I'm only her blood brother she has.
She had her early education in the then Nsukka Senatorial District and other vocational training common in that era. She got married to late Christopher Ede Ogbodo of Ikem in the 60s and got wedded in the Anglican Church of Nigeria. The marriage eventually produced 9 children who are doing very well in their different careers.
In the early years of her marriage, Mrs. Felicia Ogbodo traveled widely with her husband, who was a medical personnel in the northern parts of Nigeria, which includes Kano, Zaria, Kaduna, Sokoto, and any other states. As a result, she was able to speak Hausa, Kanuri, and Fulani fluently.
Much later, in the 70s, she moved to eastern Nigeria where her husband was transferred to work in several hospitals.
In the course of that, she established herself a strong, resilient woman with natural intelligence, with stint in different businesses to help support her family. She was bold, full of vigor, and very optimistic.
Mama was a great influence in her community, such that she pulled a lot of people from the village to town and established them in different businesses.
Mrs. Felicia was equally a lover of her people, involved herself in all the community groups, both in her father's place and in her husband's community.
She believed so much in hard working, and she believed that nothing is too difficult to achieve. Determination is the key word here. She was a very determined woman. Actually, she's a mother of the people. She was a mother of all. Even in the church, in the village, and the church in Enugu. Everybody that come across her, she sees everybody as her son. Not minding that she has enough children, but he's a kind of person that like to share what she has with people around her. She guided a lot of people in the village and even in town to successful business. She's a very versatile businesswoman. So she gets involved in a lot of business, and each time she gets in there, she brings other people along. She established a lot of women, not just in Ikem, but in a neighboring town like Yamufu, Neke, Mbu. He brought them into her kind of business.
My mother is someone who is loved by everyone that comes across her. I wish you were the commendation services when the people she lived in the same compound with, the people where she worshipped, even the people who are also from Abi, when they were given their testimony about Mama. Mama is somebody who loves people. She doesn't she does not discriminate between her own children and any other person. You know, she's open-minded. She's a very receptive person. She is very accommodating. When we were growing up, we had a lot of people lived in our house. She raised a lot of people that are not her biological children. And that will tell you the kind of person she is. In the community, Ikem Asokwa, where she is married to, I mean, she has been a unifier, a rallying factor in the church, in the society, and she has always, in her own little way, she has always reached out to the less privileged. She has always accommodated people. She has always been very generous in her own way. Everybody who has come across Mama has something good to say about her.
She was a peaceful woman. She likes giving. She gives a lot. She can give out of nothing. And you can never come to her house without eating. Even if you don't want to eat, she will force you to eat. She gives. She was so caring. She was a peace-loving woman.
My mother very tolerant, very understanding. Her grudges and anger does not last long. She carries everybody along. Even if you attempt to kill my mother and my mother find her, she will still always forgive you. Nothing my mother cannot forgive. She's a soft-minded woman. Too soft-minded, too open, and very perseverant.
Cheerful giver. She never said no. Even though the last money that she had, she will give it to you. Do you know one interesting thing about my mom? Even when you provoke her, she will still call you and give you money. I'm telling you. Even if you are telling her sorry, she will tell you that she will even give you the money. Whether you say sorry or not, she will give you the money. In fact, she have a golden heart. My mother have a golden heart. One of the things I learned from her is she's very hardworking. She knows how to take care of them. She doesn't joke with strangers. She's a giver.
Mama was a strong, resilient and determined woman who single-handedly raised her 9 children and trained all of them in the high institution after the demise of her husband in 1987.
She was a committed mother who loved her children, her grandchildren, and her in-laws very dearly.
Mama was a very wonderful woman, So since I got married to her daughter, I can never even remember having any misunderstanding with her even for once. And every time, even during the turbulent time, even the hard time, whatever position we are in, whatever condition we are passing through, she's always telling me. She calls me by my first name, Fredo. She will say, Fredo, don't worry. It's gonna be fine. She has been a very jovial, lively, carefree, loving and caring woman that's always having people's troubles, on her shoulders. And she, to me, played a role of mother and mother-in-law together for me. Because since my mother died, she has been there for us, making me not to feel the absence of my mother. So she was a very wonderful woman. Very wonderful woman, a mother-in-law anybody would wish to have.
My mom was a strong woman, a woman that never gave up. She lost her husband very early in life when she was in her 40s. But she didn't give up. She was a strong woman, always striving, and she wasn't a lazy woman, very hardworking woman. And I learned from her not to give up in anything I'm doing.
She's a strong woman who raised us after my father died early. Sometimes there's this skirmishes you have, but we just let it go and we move on. She was resilient. She cared as a mother. She was the center of our universe. She was our representative. She's our prayer warrior. She's everything rolled in one, you know. And at the later part of her age, it's like she devoted her time just interceding for her children. Myself and my mother, we are like kindred spirits because we have so many things alike. Our boldness to say our mind and get on with it. As God will have it, I was opportune to spend the quality time with her before her demise, because I do visit every year. I do visit up to two times in a year, and when I come, I spend time. I stay in my mother's house, and we spend time together. She was a very strong woman. I'm already missing her, because if she's around before I come down, everything is done and set for me. I'll catch up with all that has happened. I will devour in local dishes and all.
You know, our father left us, you know, not too early anyway. Then she continued from where he stopped. She's a very hardworking woman. She was a businesswoman, a trader. She was up and down. Was a very hardworking woman, trying to make sure that everybody is okay and everybody went to school.
She's a very dogged woman, very hardworking. She's a woman. She was a woman, but she was more of a man in our life, because she played the role of the mother and the father. And beside that, she's a very passionate and tough woman. You know, her personality has been a big shield for us, the children. We are able to get where we are because of what she represents.
My mother is a hardworking woman, and a woman who never believes she cannot achieve anything. She's a woman of high heart, very courageous, and she never gave up. When my father died, I was still a young teenager. She thought, worked hard, trust herself, make us somebody.
Trying to describe my mother in one single word or is something that is very difficult. Mama is a virtuous woman, not just virtuous woman, a woman who raised us, who did everything humanly possible to make sure that we have a bright future. Mama is a unifying factor amongst all her children. Mama is somebody who stands for the truth. Mama is somebody who loves people. Mama is a giver. Mama is a generous woman. Mama is a virtuous woman. Her role in the family, she has been a unifying factor. She has been like our guardian angel in this family since the demise of our father so many years ago. So we didn't feel that vacuum of not being raised by a father, because she played her role as a mother and also played her role as a father. So I can't describe trying to describe my mom. My mom is somebody I ran short of words to describe her. She's generous, she's loved by all, she's a virtuous woman, she's hardworking, she's prayerful, she's committed to the cause of building a better future for all her children, and she didn't stop at anything to get this thing accomplished. She didn't stop at anything.
She was a woman of virtue who was committed to the service of God and humanity. She's a hero, a role model, very hardworking, and productive in her early stage of her motherhood. Is very determined. She goes out of her way to make sure she puts everything good in the table. She's a caring mother. She knows how to organize her family.
Growing up as a teenager with her was a very good one, and a memory that can never go out of my heart, knowing fully well that she's not there again for me to have such good memory again. Yeah, my mother was a very lovely mother, was a compassionate mother, was a very kind person. You know, above all, she was a family-oriented mother, a woman who is always there for our children. You know, she's a very resilient woman. She's kind, you know, very prayerful woman as well. And one of the moments I've spent with her as a teenager, you know, she always feel very, very uncomfortable. Maybe if I have issues bothering me, she makes sure you're okay. Yeah, I could remember one of the period I might just be in a room alone. She will knock and ask you, "Are you okay?" You know, I don't know, but she just said such a memory that one will not be able to erase out of his heart or mind so easily. So I am so proud of her as a mother, and in my next coming word, I would still choose her over and over as my mom, because I could share some experience with you. You know, having a mother who could raise 9 people. You know, when my dad passed away, she was there to make sure that the 9 people had a meaningful life, to make sure that 9 people could went through walls of university and become a meaningful people in the society today. That is one thing that I won't shy away to tell you, that my mother is a wonderful being.
Her struggles on earth gives us joy, because it's only one of them who graduated before the exit of her husband, and then she tussles here and there to bring out 8 of them, all graduates, and they are blessed. So we regret very much of her exit, but in any other way around, give God the glory, because her children are doing marvelously very well.
Mama was just not my mother-in-law. She was my gist partner. She was my friend. She made life easy a lot of times for me. Earlier on, when I was still having kids, my kids were sickly. We were always in the hospital. And for those admissions, no matter how long they were, Mama would stay. Even with her knee pain, she would stay, sleeping on those uncomfortable seats. I remember when I started house job, I didn't have help. Mama would come every day. That house job lasted for a year. Mama would come every single day. She would take care of my first daughter till I'm back from work. Every single day, she never complained. So many times after that, I just needed to ask, Mama, I won't be around tomorrow. Can you come stay? I need you to be around. Even if she's sick, she will come. She was a wonderful mother-in-law to me. She's a very, very lively person. So there is always something she's going to talk about. And she's not the kind of person that she doesn't hide her feelings. If you do something wrong to her, she's going to tell you up front. And we had a very good relationship. Had a great relationship. And I am honored to have been by her side. even on her last day.
I was her first grandson. You know, like I was very close to her, very, very like, even before like we relocated from Lagos to like we always talked before. Then when we came to Enugu, like the bond became strong and very strong. Like anytime I visit her or visit her, like there is one kind of like she like will I say she like pampers me, something like that. Like there's one kind of treatment she normally gives me especially. I remember many times I'll be like, grandma, I'm hungry, but I'm not really hungry. I'll be like, I'm hungry, just little thing I want to eat. Next thing, grandma will be in the kitchen like making food that can last for everybody. Like for you, grandmas deserve to live forever. Like, you know, so we were very close. I remember if I want to go home, she give me money, 2,000, 1,000. Like it doesn't concern how many times I come in a week. As far as I come or in a day, she give me money. You know now. So we are very, very close, like you know. So sometimes we like talk, laugh, gist. Mama was a friendly woman, how I would say. She was a woman full of happiness, energy. There was never a dull moment to Mama. Like, there was never a dull moment. Like, she was like a woman, like when I say a blessed woman, yeah. She was filled with grace. Her grace is not anything. She was like filled with grace. Like why I say she was filled with grace is that how is someone like one person like raised 9 children and all of them turn out to be successful? That's grace now. She's blessed. She was a woman of grace. One person raised 9 children and all of them are successful. Woman is blessed, and I'll say she was very happy. Like she was always happy, and she was a friendly woman. She lost friendship. I remember then I was like sometimes I wouldn't call her. She would call me and tell me why are you not calling me? Like don't you know I'm not feeling fine? She was just looking for friendship. She was just friendly with everybody. Always friendly with everybody. Like what I always say, she was just an energetic woman, yeah, something like that. Energetic.
Since we have came to that family, we have been together, dining together. To the extent we came back from Lagos, I didn't go to her house. I and my children every Sunday. After we are walking, I don't pass the job rushing to her house. Every day when coming back from work, I have to spend a lot of time with her. She has a lot of stories, advices me. I took her advice. To this extent, if there is problem, she has to fight, make sure that that problem is settled. She has to reconcile. If there is any little problem, she will make sure that there is peace. She cannot eat anything without giving me all this my children. Each time we go to her house, we feel like not coming back. We spend the whole day, especially on Sundays. Whole day on Sundays. We leave our house here and we spend time with her sometimes 10 o'clock in the night. Coming back, she will make sure we are okay. These children, they will even refuse to go home. How do they want? Let us go. They will come to us to visit. Mama will make sure she cook. Whatever she has, she must provide. To this end, she can. At times we eat together. If I want to take my own separately, she say no. Chima, come. I want to eat with you. When we sit down, we eat.
Mama is my mom, my foster mother. She raised me up from childhood. I know her when I was still a child. She's a good mother. She's the best mother ever. She loves to see her child to be happy. Anytime that it's my birthday, she celebrates it for me, and she always pays my school fees. That's why I say that she's the best mother ever.
It was a really nice grandma. Like I didn't really know her I didn't know her for a long time, but the 5 years that I spent with her in Nigeria, I still remember some of the memories. I remember when we first moved to America, she was calling to check up on us and everything. And like we had so much like plans for her to come to stay with us in America. She was always so like anytime she called on the phone, like she would always ask of me, we'd always talk. She was just a really nice and generous person in general. Like she would always check up on my mom. Anytime my mom was like feeling sick, she would always tell my mom to not stress herself and everything, and she would always be praying for me and my family. So she never showed any wicked or rude emotions. She was just a very nice and generous person. So I remember when she used to feed me when I was younger. Like she used to get me to try new foods that I wouldn't really try if my parents told me to try it. So she always like encouraged me to expand myself and to try other things and to learn new things. So yeah.
My grandma was a nice woman and I miss her company. And she will always buy us something when she comes to visit. Every day she comes. She always come. When my mother goes to work, she'll come to look after us. When I was sick, she came to look after me, and she was the nicest woman. She was a very nice grandmother to me.
I miss Mama and all this house we use her for water. Whenever our mother goes out of the house, Mama will come and take care of us, and she will buy us things.
As a result of Mama's commitment and dedication to the service of God and humanity, Mama received a posthumous award on behalf of her late husband, Chief Christopher Ede Ogbodo. And on another occasion was conferred the honor of the title Ezinne at her home church, St. Andrew Anglican Church, Ikem, by Bishop Olinya of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Diocese, Ihamufu.
The impact she made in the society, especially the church where she worshipped, St. Andrew's Church, our home church at Ikem, and even the church where she worshipped here in Enugu, Emmanuel Anglican Church here. It's the testimony, the pastors, the people there. She has received so many numerous awards in recognition to her contribution to the society. In Enugu here, she was also honored by the Archbishop of Enugu Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend Dr. E.O. Chukwuma. She was also honored at her home church by Bishop Olinya. So Mama's impact in the society is unquantifiable. It's not even what I will stand here to tell you, but she's someone that is loved by everybody. Loved by everybody who has come in contact with her has something good to say about her. Very accommodating, very generous, very receptive. She's always teaching us the values of prayers and hard work. And it has paid off. And God has been with us, and she has always been prayerful. She taught us to believe in God, that every challenge you have in life, you go on your knees to pray to God, and God is always there to answer us. What she has done for us is to continue to pray and support us with her prayers, and God has answered her prayers.
She's the kind of woman who likes praying. She loves praying. What I mean praying as a mother. There's no day she will wake up in the morning that she will not gather the children together to pray. What baffles me mostly is that, can you believe that each time Mama is praying, she must commit all her children from first to the last. She will commit them into God's hands. She will mention their names, their wives' names, their children's names. She knows everyone by names. She will pray, continue praying every day. She must not step out of her house every morning without praying. She must continue praying. She continue praying. Praying that God should guide them, protect them. In short, that woman, in fact, I have never, I don't know how to put it. She loves God. she do things of God accordingly. So what I learned from her, to be a mother who always pray for her children, for well-being of her children. She pray continuously every day, committing them into God's hands. So what I learned from her is that you can't do without prayer. I have seen it in Mama. She's a woman of prayer.
On the 25th of September 2022, Mama hosted a Thanksgiving service in appreciation of God's healing and blessings.
All my family participated in the Thanksgiving. After the Thanksgiving, we came to our house. My mama was very happy.
Yeah, she had a Thanksgiving, like I said earlier on. I came home. As a matter of fact, nothing precisely brought me back. I could have done everything I wanted to do back in the United Kingdom. But I had that pull to come, as if to say, I had sort of had a premonition of her passing, to come and spend some quality time with her, which I did. You know, normally in her usual character, she would get ready, even paint. Each time I'm coming, she repaints the room and gets, like I said, get all the local dishes waiting. So this Thanksgiving, she was actually looking forward to it. So like before I came, most questions I would ask her, she said, wait until when you come. So when we came, she had this Thanksgiving. I still have that memory. We're in the church where she danced, she cooked, and she served a lot of people, called her distant relations, her friends, people in the neighborhood. And she danced with her grandchildren. Even all of us, we were dancing boga.
In the early hours of October 1st, 2022, exactly 6 days after Mama's Thanksgiving service, she was called home by her maker.
I have really come a long way with my mom because she lost her husband on time. She was like a father, I was like a mother to my siblings. Two of us, we were very close. You know, it's so painful because she was quite a strong woman. We were not even expecting her to die when she did. But unfortunately, she wasn't sick, you know, and that's the most painful aspect of it. But people will be wondering, oh, somebody that is almost 80, 79 going to 80, why would you feel so bad? But she doesn't behave her age. She doesn't look her age. She was so strong. I'm still using ease for my mom. At times I forget that she's even dead. She was a very strong woman. You know, where she lived at the last floor, she climbs downstairs by herself without any help. Even stronger than you know, some of the younger people. But it's so sad. I spoke with her on a Friday, being 30th or 31st of September, on a Friday. I spoke with her while I was in the office. You know, you people are 6 hours or either ahead or behind. So I spoke with her while I was at work. She told me that she went to Niger Foundation, that she had her checkups there. I said, how are you? She said everything is okay. And she wanted to start telling me stories, you know, things that happened when she did her Thanksgiving. I told her that I'm at work, that on Saturday, that I'm not working on Saturday, that we will talk. Of course, by 12 midnight American time, which was like your afternoon in My sister-in-law called me and said that Mama is not feeling well, that I should start praying. I said, what? This was the person I spoke with about how many hours ago? What's going on? Of course, I kept on praying. That was our 12th midnight here. Of course, we didn't sleep again. I was praying and calling her. All she told me was that Mama passed. So of course, I didn't believe it. I started laughing. I didn't cry because it was like a movie. You know, so that morning, and my husband kept on saying, no, you people should not put her in the mortuary, that we don't think she's dead. How can somebody that I spoke with about how many hours ago? You know, gradually people started calling me.
There was something I couldn't lay my hands on that happened in my last visit. I just keep saying that since I've been coming to Nigeria, that I've never enjoyed my visit like this particular one. And I was just making it fun. It's just like Obiokongpo, who returned from England the first time, that what was left that you didn't come to the airport to roll a red carpet for me. You know, there was something extraordinary. There was something about the visit. You know, she's always warm and get ready when I come, but there was a touch of extra mile. And that day we all danced, and you know, it was such a good memory, you know. And you know, during my visit, she was always there. Almost everywhere I wanted to go, she wants to come. Even some people, family, friends who called me, you know, to host me, she would, in fact, before I get ready, she would get ready, and she was everywhere, you know, and anywhere with me. So it's with a rude shock of when I heard her passing. You know, when I was ready to go, she saw me off to the airport. Something she normally do not do before. You will see me off to the gate. I made 2 attempts when I wanted to go back to Lagos to fly back to the UK. The first day I couldn't go because I think one of the politicians was in town and there was a lockdown. So making the road to the airport was everywhere was this long traffic queue. I didn't make it. Then she went with me. On the second day again, as I was getting ready again, and I was even running late, trying to catch my flight. Before we could finish, she got ready again with one of her sisters who came. They climbed the stairs. Even when I was saying, no, I'm going to leave, I'm going to miss the flight, stay back, don't come. She said, even if you leave, I'll find my way to the place. And she came with me to the airport, and she was there. We even met some of her friends who were telling her, oh, you're looking so young, you're even looking younger than her now. And it was a very beautiful time, something very unique and particular that I cannot really put my hand on. But I thoroughly enjoyed that visit, and I'm happy and I'm grateful to God that I was opportune, I was lucky to have that last moment with her, which will ever stay in my memory, and I'm going to cherish it, and I'm going to use it to replace all the pains and all the dark clouds that occupied my heart when she left. The pain, like the word that I always use, is indescribable. We did not see it coming. She was at the top notch of her health, but she had some health conditions before now, which was quite serious, and she overcame. She's a strong woman, like I said, and she overcame, and we didn't see this coming at all. You know, a woman where she lives in the last story building, a woman who climbs that story building every day, and she's the one who is all over the place. She goes out like 3 times, 4 times in a day. That will show you that at least she's in some reasonable good health of condition, apart from the obvious health issues which she had. So I got home because, like I said, she saw me to the airport, and when I was mid-air, she was trying to reach me. she couldn't get me. She rang a lot of people and they said I'm on mid-air, that I've not transited. I was supposed to transit in Turkey. So eventually they said she was worried. She kept calling. She wanted to know if I got home safely. She wanted to know if I was okay. So eventually when she got me, you know, she said, oh, thank God for Johnny Mercies. And she said, I know she went to the hospital feeling very okay, but we just thought, it's maybe minor fever or something, because she was really good. We thought she was good, you know, that was it. And after that night, before I spoke with her last in the night, as I landed in the UK, there was a feeling of fear and that uncertainty, a feeling of emptiness that enveloped me. I couldn't put anything hand on it. I said, why am I feeling like this? I couldn't even unpack. In fact, I unpacked my bags. I left them downstairs. I left them on the staircase. I'll go up, I'll come down. I was restless. I was anxious. I have this feeling of a doom. Something is about to happen. I couldn't place my hand on it. I didn't feel all right. I said, what's going on? So it continued. In the night, I couldn't sleep. So I said, okay, at a certain time, about 2 o'clock, I ran a hot bath. I said, okay, let me go and have a hot bath. Let me see if I was going to catch a sleep. While I was in the hot bath, something strange happened to me. I just have this sudden of goosebumps. I felt afraid, you know, like a shadow, just, you know, just sense of a presence in the bath with me. So I quickly went into my room, dried up, and I tried to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I slept about 4 o'clock. So about 6:45, a call came in, and it was my sister-in-law, Dr. Ezinne Ogbodo. He said, Nkiru, pray for Mama, pray for Mama. Mama is not very well. I said, what? Then immediately I fell from the bed. I would say, oh, my mother will not die. My mother will not die. My mother will not die. I cover my mother with the blood of Jesus. I was just like monosyllable repetitions, you know, making these affirmations and sort of incantation, not this spiritual Pentecostal church incantation. My mother will not die. My mother will not die. So and then I switched off the phone. We tried every possible thing to reconnect with her. She wasn't picking the phone. Then I now started, I knew there was something more than that. I started weeping, I started yelling. And it was a terrible feeling. I cannot wish that feeling on my enemy. I felt lifeless. I just felt like a fish cast out of the deep ocean, you know, on the bare ground, and you're struggling to survive, because she was the magic puzzle that held us together. You understand? When there's problem in the family, she goes out of her way. She makes sure that everybody is looking after each other. I just felt empty. Like I told you, I felt horribly. I felt pain. Initially, it was anger, despair, regret. I just felt I could have, maybe there's something I could have done. You know, that feeling of, if I've done this, if I've done that. I normally stay for 1 month. I stayed only for 3 weeks. I said, why did I stay for 3 weeks? Maybe if I was there, you know, that is it. People who were there on ground, they did try their best, but you know, when something like that happens, not that she passed on was the problem. It was sudden and it was swift. It was so fast. I've never seen anything like that. It's just like somebody maybe who had an accident or something very, very prompt that nothing can be done. You know, it just, it gave me a difficult time to have a closure, thinking that there was no opportunity, you know, to try to save her. And she just passed on.
My dear brother, I did not envisage it. Honestly speaking, I never envisaged it. You know, she had been through what's the challenge. Sometimes 2 years ago, she was quite sick and even stayed at home for many months. She wasn't working, and you know, miraculously, she recovered completely. Okay, and did Thanksgiving that one of my sisters that lived in the UK also came back because of that Thanksgiving. And everybody was in her house on Sunday, rejoicing, dancing, making merry. So then a Saturday after that Sunday, I was with her. She actually died in my arms, in the arms of me and my wife, Dr. Ezinne Ogbodo. We didn't see anything wrong. We had actually attended the hospital on a Friday, and the doctor discharged us and said we can go home. Then we were supposed to go back that Saturday, and just for the doctor to review the tests that she did, and also if there's a need, give her further medications. And I was actually in her house with my wife. So all of us, she woke up hale and hearty. I went to her room, asked her how are you. She said she's a lot better, and she was getting ready for us to go to the hospital before the worst happened. And in a jiffy, in a few minutes, she couldn't. Her body started changing, and honestly, we made effort and rushed to the hospital. And on getting there, the worst. So I was actually driving. My wife was in the car, holding her. So she died in our arms. It was unbelievable. Honestly, the right word to describe what happened on October 1st, 2022 is unimaginable and incomprehensible. I didn't imagine. I didn't envisage it. I can't imagine it.
I'll start from a week prior to her death. She was full of life. My sister-in-law just came back in her normal way. She was upbeat, preparing for that Thanksgiving service that she has always wanted to go for. She went to the market herself, even when I opted to help. She went to the market herself because she was that kind of person. She was that strong. There was no indication of her being sick. Although, yes, she's a diabetic, she was on drugs, but everything was under control. The Thanksgiving service went well. Everything went as planned. She was happy. And my sister-in-law left on Wednesday. She followed us to the airport when I went to drop her off. And on Friday morning, I'm called by one of the tenants telling me that she isn't feeling too well. I was even supposed to go to work that day, but I said no. I drove down to her house and I saw her. She wasn't her typical self, but it wasn't something out of the ordinary. So I told her, I checked her blood sugar and it was very high. I said, no, we have to get to the hospital. Got to the hospital, she was resuscitated. She was at the emergency, she was taken care of. By evening, she was calling a whole lot of people. She was herself. Spoke to everyone that she usually speaks to. And we were told to come back the next day. We left. We got home. I fed her, gave her her drugs. Yeah, she wasn't 100%, so we decided to stay with her and monitor her till the next morning. The next morning, I woke up by 6 a.m. I went to her room. I said, Mama, how are you today? She was like, she's fine. That today is better than yesterday. And she was like, she wants to go ease herself. I didn't even know. So I left her room. I didn't even know when she walked to the toilet herself. And when, in the next 1 second, one of our girls rushes into our room and was like, Mama is slumped over. All rushed there. Everybody came. All the tenants carried her to the living room. But she was already unconscious. So we dressed her up immediately. Took her to the car. Well, before By the time she was downstairs, before we even left the compound, she was gone. And that was it.
I was not expecting such a news because I speak with her all the time. There's no day I don't speak with her like 2 or 3 times on daily basis. She was agile. It's only that she normally has minor, all these little sicknesses, They know that she's always agile. I know her as somebody that is very strong. Even at her age, she goes to the market, she goes to church, she does everything by herself. I was not expecting such a message at this time. But then, when I received the message, it was a shock to me, and I have to be a man to endure it. Honestly, to tell you the truth, the news was a shock to me. Even up to now, I'm yet to recover from the shock. Sometimes when I remember my relationship with her, the way I used to talk with her, the way I used to play with her, it makes my day sad.
I was at work, and based on the time difference between Nigeria and United States, the time I got the news was in the wee hours of Saturday, and I was at work that night. That should be morning in Nigeria. So it was grief, and it was very painful because I wasn't aware that she was even sick. I wasn't aware that she was even sick, but it was unfortunate that I saw her call 12 hours before she died. But when I saw the call, I was at work, and I'm saying that I'm going to call back. But I never called back again before I now heard that she's dead. So I mean, it was a rude shock, and it was never expected because she was doing well, quite well at that stage of her life.
Very shocked and dead to me. That day, 1st of October, a day I can never forget. The most sorrowful day in my life. I never expected her at this particular time to die. When she's sick, she recovered, gave thanksgiving, appreciating her God. A few days after the thanksgiving, she's dead of God. When I lost my concentration, it affected my business, my movement. At the time my wife asked me, you are not a strong man, what is happening? I said, no, you might not understand. But at the time I saw no courage.
She told me to go and take anything I want from the kitchen. So I asked her, what does she have in the kitchen? She said she has a stew. And I told her that, Mama, I have stew already. That's what I need is soup. She said no, that she doesn't have soup, but I should just go and take anything I want. And I said, Mama, no problem. And she continued that I should go and take anything I want, anything at all I need. Apart from soup, I should just go to the kitchen and take anything I want. I insisted that I don't really need it, let me be going, that I will come the next day. So, as she was trying to make sure that I go to the kitchen and take something I want, I was just like, why is Mama trying to force me to go and take something? I continued telling her, Mama, no problem, let me be going, there's no time, let me be going. From there, Anan left and told her that I'll be coming the next day. She said, okay. So later now, it's now dawned on me that maybe, is that why she was not telling me to go and collect anything I want? Maybe that will be the last time I will see her.
The death of my mom was one of the devastated moments I've ever experienced in life as a woman. I wasn't expecting that from her at this moment, not at all. I was just on that beautiful morning that I woke up and on the usual way of her, she normally gives call in the morning or in the evening to know how I'm doing. So I decided to call her. Her number wasn't going through. So I started my normal activity at work and all that. So, but on coming back to the break to look at my phone, I saw a series of missed calls from my siblings, and the news I could get immediately that my mom has passed away. So it was a quite very devastating moment. And I don't think if that would be experienced as terrible as that, I could ever experience again.
Her exit created a very big vacuum in my family. Since 1st of October 2022, no day I will not be on tears because of her exit. Because she cared for me very well. And my joy is that her struggle and the struggle of her husband yielded a very dividend result by giving them 9 children, and the 9 children are doing well. So glory be to God.
Well, I know too well that Mama's death came to everybody as a shock because it was the least expected news. We have looking forward to get, even though we do not have any complete grip of any time somebody will die, but from the previous interactions and she spoke with my wife the following day, they were supposed to continue with the discussion. Instead of the continuation of the discussion, it was the news of her demise, which to me is very shocking, But I know she was a very good woman, very loving, very God-fearing, very peaceful, and she impacted this attribute into her children. And I know my wife being the first child, I can say, for sure that she took those good attributes of her mother, which one, being peaceful, 2, having so much love for God, 3, trying to bring everybody together to make sure there is peace, unity, love, and kindness among their siblings. But I know she really played a very vital role in making sure the family was together. Even after much time, the husband died, and the husband died so prime time, but she has been very instrumental to making sure the family, was intact and kept together. The family, from the look of things, from the number of years I've spent knowing that family, being part of that family, they have always been one united family that come pray together, love themselves together, share problems, ideas together. So her attributes, the children learned a lot from the woman, and I can say for sure that they are applying most of those attributes because they are very helpful in life.
But I've learned that life is not guaranteed. Anything can happen at any time. Like I said, forget about yesterday, is dead. Tomorrow does not exist yet. Live in now. Live in a very tight space of today. And for you to be able to live today very well, you have to forget the dead yesterday, forget about tomorrow that is yet to come, and know that your happiness and the happiness you implant on other people matters, because nobody is you don't know. Death is a necessary end. It is something that nobody knows when it will happen. So live well, live good, be in peace with all men, and be in peace with your Creator. Show kindness, show appreciation, love each other, do unto another man what you want another man to do to you, and I pray to God.
She has always taught us while she was alive to always be our brother's keeper, okay? That when one of us is crying, that all of us are crying, okay? And she has always taught us to be on the lookout for each other. So what I will do is to basically for us to continue to remain united and remain focused as brothers and sisters, and also as a family, so that we will continue to sustain the legacy, the name of the family, so that her absence or her demise will not create a vacuum or be a kind of something that will lead to crisis in the family that will now make us that will create divisions amongst us. No. We have collectively resolved to uphold our unity as a family, to continue to relate very well with each other as brothers and sisters, to continue to represent those legacies she left behind, to take it to greater heights. Then at the end of the day, as a family, we will take a decision on what we do, so that we will immortalize her, we will continue to remember her, we will make sure we write her name in the history book of the family, so that even the next generation of the family will always know that there was a woman called Ezinne Felicia Amujuru Ogbodo, who did everything, toiled day and night to make sure we had a bright future. And you know, that when she left this sinful world, that is not the end of her legacy. So it is our responsibility, our collective responsibility, the collective responsibility of all her children, to make sure that we remain united, remain focused, and sustain the legacy she left behind.
Continue to rest. We are here. We will always miss you. You are always in our hearts, and you will never be forgotten.
Mrs. Ezinne Felicia Ogbodo, in fact, I've missed you a lot. You left unannounced when we needed you most. You left. I wish you stayed with us more, but who can question God? In everything we say, to God be the glory. And I wish you peace in your journey to eternal life. May God grant you a place of peace in the heaven.
My mother, like no other person, of course, I will miss those memorable moments I've spent with you growing up as a teenager. And I won't forget one of the period at the day I brought a friend during my university days. I could remember this guy, sit off by name, had an accommodation problem, and I pleaded with you, can you allow this guy to stay with us for the period of the time that he can be able to sort accommodation? And he said to me, no problem, that he can stay with me in my room. And to my greatest surprise, I saw my mom even giving that my friend more attention than me, making sure he has all he needs, and she's just a very kind person. That kindness in my mom, that care, that phone call I got from her regularly, morning, evening, asking how I'm doing, those calls, I'm going to miss it. Those time that once she hears that I'm having any issue, she becomes so restless, she will keep on calling and all that. I don't think there will be no one to care for me that way again. I know that. Yeah, so I will miss those love. I will miss those kindness. I will miss those care from her, those phone calls, those memories I shared with her growing up. Those times I will share my problem with, because to me, she's the only person I could confide anything I'm feeling.
She believed in God's word. That's why, that's what she told me, that when she will be going, she will be dancing to her father. And sure, she will be in the paradise. The way I see it, I pray, and I will continue to pray, that God will grant her soul, and may her soul rest in perfect peace.
Mama, only call you Chief Mrs. Ogbodo. Mama Nugu, a great woman, who has shown love to people, to your children, to everyone that come across her. I will miss you so much. I will miss the motherhood. I will miss the caring. I will miss the love. I will miss a lot of good things that I've always enjoyed from you. If your death is natural, I wish you rest in peace, and I wish you a good farewell. Rest in peace in the blossom peace of the Lord. Amen.
I'm going to miss her very much, but since she has left, her memories will always be in my heart. I love my grandma very much. It's going to be hard to say goodbye, but this is it.
Mama, I'm with heavy heart and gratitude to God. Now we have no option either to accept the will of God, and we believe you're in the bosom of the Lord, and we are looking forward to the day we will meet to part no more. I will wish you well. I will say farewell in your journey, and good night.
Okalia, Okudo Okalisia, Ojeke Ezinne Amujuru Ogbodo Karaka. Ufuji mom. Oh my God. Ofumbaja name overload. Gaga n'ogwu. Kedu onye ga-enye m ego nke m tata? Gekene ntị, Mama, we miss you. I hope you are resting in peace where you are. Please be our guiding angel. Lift us when we are weak. Guide us when we miss our way. Be with us when we are not strong. May your soul rest in the perfect abode of God. And I keep praying, wherever you are, may you find peace. May you find succor. May you find internal rest. Rest in peace. Adieu, Mama. We love you. We will never forget you.
I will miss her, and I will miss her, and I will miss her so much. May her soul rest in peace. Mama, may your soul rest in peace. Till we meet to part no more. You are a great hero. You are a great mother. You are one out of a million. I will never forget you. The memory is still in my heart. Even my kids are still remembering the good impact you created on them. They always ask me, "Money, Grandma, oh, you want to drink mineral and money? Now, if it's money, Grandma, they will buy it for me. You want to eat cake? Who will do my birthday for us again?" Because my mom, she's even the one that used to celebrate my children's birthday. Can you imagine? Me, I cannot even celebrate my children's birthday. She goes ahead, buy cake, buy mineral. Even the dates of the birth of my children, my mommy know it. I will miss her so much. I will miss her so much. I will miss her so much. So much that I said in my next word, I would like to have somebody like her as my mother because she's an hero. Mama, you are a super mother. You are super mother. You are super mother. Child.
Mama, we'll miss you. You left when we needed you most. But who are we to question God? I'm sure you've gone to a better place. You've gone to a better place. I'm sure you've gone to a better place. And you'll be watching over us. Mama, what can I say? Where will I start from? Is it the attention? Is this the love? Is this the support? Is it, is it her generous nature? Is it the unifying factor, the role she has played as a unifying factor in the family? Mama, that we will miss you is an understatement. I really ran short of words to describe the impact your demise will have on us as a family, and will have on me. I recall the usual, because I usually go to her house every Saturday that I don't go to work. If I don't, I usually walk because the house is close. I trek. My exercise on Saturdays, usually from here to her house, to see her on Saturday and talk with her and have a conversation. And she would tell me stories of what happened within the week. And Maybe when she has hospital appointment and all those things, we'll make arrangements for my driver and all those things to take her to the hospital. You know, is my dear brother, I am completely devastated, but we've taken solace in the word of God because we do not want to weep like people who do not have hope in God. Our hope is built on Christ Jesus. So, Mama, Gaijegin Koma, we pray that our good Lord will accept your soul, will grant you eternal rest and accept your soul in paradise. Jen Koma, Ezbonem, Osodi Eliaku, Jen Koma.
My happiness and my joy, I know my mother is in the bosom of the God. Right on the side of the God. She has been welcomed by the heavenly host and angels. And as I'm talking to you, I saw Mama dancing to the golden gate. And I went, Mama, that's where to the golden gate. Jane, come, Mama. Jane, come, Mama. Jane, come, Mama. Jane,
God is standing by. So hush, don't you worry, don't cry.